Hello everybody. This is BB, and you're watching Encrypted Ritual. It's been a little bit since I've posted a video, and I'm going to try and keep it simple today. I'm mostly just going to show a few things that I've been working on, and maybe I'll do some check-in stuff at another time. Drinking tea. Yum yum. Yeah, let's get to it. So today I am going to be showing some of the books I've been making. A lot of them are still in progress and not finished yet. This is a finished one, and I'll be doing close-ups in a minute. I have a bunch that aren't finished yet, and they're in different stages, and I've been working on their covers, so I'm going to show those. But yeah, if you like what you see and you want to see me do maybe more of a start to finish at some point or anything like that, just let me know. I'm going to be changing the screen up so you get a better view in just a second. Okay, so this book you've already seen. At least I think I've shown this. It was the first book I made last winter for myself. I've made a couple books before that as gifts for other people, but I didn't record any of that. This one I had been showing pictures of as I worked on. This was just a personal project. It's multimedia. There's a lot of collaging going on and personal writing mixed with cutouts. I did some string that I shellacked on here. The back was a piece of art that I did, and I actually photocopied the art, and then I did stuff on top of it. Same thing with the string. I made a bookmark that was part of the binding of the book, actually. So yeah, the binding on this one I left completely open. There we go. So with the extra of the binding, I actually tied 2 more strings in so I could braid it, and I made a bookmark. I just attached some beads on the end. So the bookmark is attached directly to the book. And I've followed that with a couple of the other books that I've made. The paper on the inside, it's just a really nice marble textured paper. I can show you, there's only a couple drawings in here, so surprise sketchbook tour. I might have actually shown some of these already too, but whatever. The paper that's in here is some Arches watercolor paper, because I work with a lot of different mediums. This is the hot press, so it's really smooth if I want to do pencil or ink on it. It's worked out well so far. I've not really filled up this book much. Let me hear that bend. I've got just miscellaneous stuff. In this book, I did not put an envelope in the back or anything like that, and I thought about it afterwards. This tiny book was a little bit more of an experiment. I wanted to just try, I had extra paper that was excess from the books I had made before, because I cut them down from much larger sheets. I think they were 22 inches by 30 inches. So there were a few inches left over, and I was like, I'll make a tiny book. And I realized I like making tiny books, and I can probably make ones even smaller than this. The outside is a thicker illustration board that I primed and then painted. I spray painted it, and then I just hand drew and glossed the cover. Did the same thing with the back. And then I did this was my first attempt. It's a little messy, but that's fine. I did a faux leather spine. And I'll bring that a little closer. It opens really nice. When I first opened it a lot, you could really hear the pages cracking. Not so much now. And I did the same thing with the braided bookmark. I didn't bead this one, but I'm going to be making a handful of these in different colors, but probably this size. Oh yeah, I didn't show. I really liked this paper that I used for the inner cover. It's tigers. Fun time. But yeah, I'm going to be making a handful of sketchbooks like this to put up for sale on Etsy. They'll be slightly plainer in design. I probably maybe won't do as much drawing on top of it. We'll see. But like the black and gold, I think, is a nice touch, and I've got more paint like that. So those are my two finished books. On to the ones that are still works in progress. And I'll kind of do them in order of the ones that are most finished to the least finished. This one looks fairly done, but it's actually not. Agent Skyhouse wanted to do covers for me, but as some of you may know, they not only are they always very busy, but they also deal with a lot of pain, and it can limit the amount of work they can do, so work can be kind of slow. So I made myself some temporary covers, and I say temporary because I Velcroed them on. So I wanted to be able to use the book, but I want to be able to put the covers on when they're done. So I've been slowly just filling in the covers on this, and then again, this is the same kind of thicker illustration board. I didn't prime this one or anything, so we'll see how long it holds up. But I like the idea of customizable covers that I can then pull off and switch off, so I might do that as something in the future. I'll probably figure out a way to... I'll probably just need more Velcro, so that they sit a little more flush against it and do it closer to the outsides, but it hasn't come off. I just like, I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. I just like when it's in my bag, like I don't like the cover coming that far from the inner cover. So I'll sort that out as a thing. But that's the back. I've done a lot more at the back so far than the front. It's the same thing with the back. I Velcroed that too. So this is a personal journal. It's for one of my internal folks. And I'll probably be sharing more of the journal as it gets filled in. But a few months ago, I had a lot of fun putting some fake stains into fabric, and I actually, so the inner cover is fabric. Since it's fabric and it doesn't go completely flush, I just used some washi tape here. I don't really know if on the inside of the book it's the spine. The crease of the pages, whatever. Bloop. Sorry. But anyway, this book was, I believe, at the time I had finished using one of my other journals and I wanted to make a new journal. So I didn't have any of the Arches paper at the time, but I did have a lot of the Canson mixed media paper, which is another favorite. So I took pages out of a 9x12 book and folded them and then bound them. I used jean fabric, a very light jean fabric. You can't really even see on the camera here, but that's all right. And yeah, did the same stained backing back here, and with this one I made an envelope in the back, and I'm deciding whether or not it's going to Velcro on the inside or if I'm going to put a button through here. Right now I guess technically I could use this bookmark because it's magnetic and it's not completely sealed to just go like that. That works pretty nice. But yeah, I collect a lot of things I find while I'm walking, and so it's nice to have a way to store things in my book without them just being lost in the pages. Like just about like 2 weeks ago I found these flowers and they dried really nicely in the book, and now they're sitting in the back envelope. I like pressing flowers. But yeah, so that's this second book. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to the new covers, but I also am having fun with the idea of having swappable covers. So this is my experimental fun book. This book is not complete yet, but almost complete. This book is going to be for Sky, and I believe this one is either Arches or it's more Canson multimedia paper, because I know he loves that. He loves the Canson paper, but he also likes the smoother Arches. And I chose a nice dragonfly paper for the inner covers. With his, instead of attaching an envelope, what I am doing is I took an envelope, made it to the right size for the book, and I'm going to attach it inside afterwards here. And it fits nice. And then I'm figuring out if I'm going to like paint or design the covers of the envelope. The spine is also fabric like the other ones. I don't know. I think that I asked him which ones he liked, and he picked this like blue and green one. So that's the book itself. And then I can show you what I have so far of his covers, which are not done but getting close. This is going to be the front cover. There's going to be text here. But also I'm still like highlighting some stuff and putting a little more ink on it just to make certain areas pop a little bit more. But so that'll be the cover. And then this will be the back. This is still much more in its earlier stages. I just sketched it out like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've been working on it here and there, just adding bits of watercolor. I primed this page with gesso, and the watercolor and ink are taking pretty well to it. So I decided to include this book. It's just a tiny little side project. The cover is actually some type of fabric paper that I inherited from my grandfather. because I got a lot of his old art supplies when he passed. So I just took a piece of that, and then I took some render paper, which is the paper that you can draw with markers that allows you to use both sides of the page without it leaking through if you're using alcohol-based markers. So no leaking. So yeah, this one was just a simple, I did a, let's see. So this one I just did a single signature and one stitch through the cover on either side there. So it was just super simple. And then I did the same idea of using an envelope that I attached with washi tape. And then I also, because that one only had a single stitch, I attached this with the washi tape. It's a piece of lace to use as the bookmark. So that was just a little side thing. Then we're getting to the ones that I have not quite finished yet. There's this smaller one. The covers are almost done for it. I did the spine, which I used some of the excess of that stained fabric from the other one for the spine on this. I haven't chosen a paper for the inside covers yet. This is going to have one of the attached built-in envelopes, so I have that cut out and ready to be attached. I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to put the paper down first or do layers or whatever. So still sorting that out, but I did put this bookmark in. Same braiding idea, with a couple little pink beads. The covers for this, I'm still painting, but it's a bit of a ways to go. I've been going back and forth between acrylic and watercolor. So there's this one. Yeah. If I turn it away from the light, it's a little better. There's a lot going on. This one is, I don't know, probably about 4 inches by 4 inches. And then the back cover, I think, is kind of fun. Especially because it's got the shinies. I'm hoping that once I coat it, that a lot of the shine will still, like from the metallic, will still be there. But so there's that tiny book, which is almost done. This one, I've not, the back is still pretty bare. I'm still trying to figure out what fabric to use for the spine. I need to sit down at some point in the near future and take a better look. I haven't fully glued these on yet, so it's part of the binding. I've been deciding between having a glued on envelope like this, or one that attaches like this. So we'll see what happens there. If I do this, I was thinking about, at least for the back of the book, this is the front, so I don't know why I tucked it here, but if I did like a jean fabric, designing this so that it looked kind of like a pocket, like having the fabric on here, and making like maybe like a button or something that keeps it closed. we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I haven't picked out the inside paper, so this one is still pretty bare bones on the outside. The back cover has only been prepped with black paint, but it's going to be pretty simple. And then the front, I'm like a little more than halfway through painting, and that's another one that's, I think, got a lot going on. So those are the books I've been working on so far. A lot of them are more personal, for friends and such, or for myself, and that's why I'm taking my time on them. But like I said, I will be putting some of those up on Etsy in the near future. They'll just be plainer ones. I will be offering books that are more complicated like that, but they would probably be quite a bit of money because I invest a lot of time in making them. As far as making both the smaller books and larger books with plainer covers and insides, they would probably be, for the smaller books, around $25 to $30, and then probably around $75 for like a book that's about like 6 by 9. The last thing I was going to show, and again, I can't remember if I've shown in a previous video here, but I made my first attempt at making paper a month or two ago, and it was pretty successful. There were pages that were much more crinkly and didn't because I was impatient and I pulled them before they were fully dry, so they were a little torn. But for some of them, I feel like it gives them character. Depending on whatever I end up using them on. And considering also that it was my first attempt, I'm pretty pleased. But after I get through the ones that I was impatient with, they start getting cleaner. This is still pretty textured, and then towards the very end, and I just love some of like the little inclusions, because I had mixed some wood shavings in, so it's just got like a nice light but toothy texture. There were some though that I put either against books with really smooth covers or wood, and so they have almost no texture. They are smooth, very smooth paper. And I am just like, this is a thinner piece, but you can see how smooth it is. I was really happy. I do plan on making more paper, and I plan on making different kinds. I need to properly bind some so that they can be used with more than like big pens and pencils. I want to be able to paint on paper that I make. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, so that is some of the stuff that I've been working on lately. I wanted to share something with you guys without it getting too derailed into me talking about the millions of other things I'm doing on any given day. I, as usual, will try and make more videos to post, because it's not a lack of things to post about, it's just actually me sitting down to record and then edit. And I don't always have the energy to do it. Because life is a never-ending roller coaster. But I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the books I've been working on. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them my way. If you have anything else you think you might want to see from me, if you are interested in a book, whatever, just let me know, and I will respond to you. And otherwise, yeah. That was it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.